Hey, I'm Serge from Fan. So in the last video, I talked about all the little things that I really love in the car. So I thought it would be logical to do the opposite and talk about all the little things I don't like in the car. Remember, this is little things, and some can be improved, some unfortunately could not. But I think it's important to mention these because although I do really like the car overall, there are some things that could be improved in future models. So let's get into it. Okay, so one of the things, little things that I don't like, and actually it doesn't bother me, but it bothers my wife and my kid, are the door handles. As you can see, these door handles are quite different. So try to open the door. So you see, for a small hand, it's pretty hard. And also women that have, or men, that both, that have long nails also have trouble because they can't really push here because it kind of hurts them. So it's a small thing, but it can get annoying, and I get a lot of comments about the door handles. So, you know, I put that as a negative. Another thing, a little thing I don't like too much is the centered screen for viewing speed and stuff like that. If you watch my video about things I like, actually, as we have the speed, that's actually, you have the warnings, audible warnings, so that mitigates it. But the fact that I have to look to the right a little bit, it's not a major thing. I got mostly used to it, but I do want to list it in the minor things that bug me a little bit. But of course, this, you know, it's something you get into using a car. Does it actually disturb me? No, but I'm doing little things here. I'm not doing big things. Another thing that's not too great is the speed limits. So you see, for example, here in the middle of a parking lot, and it actually displays the speed as 50. So that's probably the speed of the closest route, closest road. But also there's a lot of places, and you've seen this in my previous videos, where the speeds on the map are wrong, and so it would be nice to have them to be correct. So what would fix the problem with the speed limits being wrong is if the car had speed sign recognition. And there are actually quite a few cars that have that, because they use the Mobileye system for car recognition, for speed sign recognition and other sign recognitions. So I know that probably the software can do it, but just for patent reasons they can't. So that's a little bit frustrating, and I really hope that we'll have a software update soon, at least this year, that will bring this functionality, because it would be really fantastic. That's, again, a little thing, but I wish it was fixed. Another thing that's a little bit of an annoyance, and that's again not for me but mostly for backseat passengers, is that the fact that these things are pretty recessed and so it makes it a little bit difficult to put, and especially if you have a car seat like this, and it'll get in the way. So let's have my son show the problem. So yeah, so now you have to sort of,
actually a map.
Can you do it? So he's gotten really used to doing this, so he's actually faster than most people.
And
oh, okay, well, can you hit that?
there we go.
So can you do it? So he's got the hang of it. Yeah, well done. But it's actually, is it difficult to do?
Nope.
Not for you, but for most people it's pretty difficult, especially when I have kids and are used to the car. So again, it's not a big thing, but it's about an annoyance that I wish we wouldn't have. Okay, so another thing that I wish the car had would be a frunk that lifts automatically. So let's show it. Can you press it? Okay, so now it's unlocked. And basically I have to actually manually lift it and close it. Now you can buy kits that will actually make this automatic, but you know, you pay good money for this car. I wish it would have it. Same thing with the trunk. The trunk has the same problem. So again, a little thing, but I wish we didn't have that problem. Okay, the other thing that I wish the car didn't have, well, actually I think they can improve on this, but is that when you're in a tunnel, you lose navigate on autopilot, and they seem to say tunnels are not supported yet, so it makes you wonder if it's going to be supported later. I guess they could technically support it, but I don't know why they don't. So maybe that'll come in a later update. We'll have to be patient. Okay, another thing that disturbs me, it's not a big one, but it's a little bit of a nuisance. So basically, when you put the car to charge at a location that's not a supercharger, there's no way to set it up so that you'll get a notification when the car is finished charging. So the best way you can do is sort of, a car gives you a pretty good estimate of when it'll be finished charging in terms of time. And so what I do is I set a reminder to make sure that I can go free the charging location, because I charge in public locations all the time. So I really wish that Tesla would add a notification when the charging is finished. I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't seem like that complicated to do, because it already works for the superchargers. So it would just replicate the same thing, and the car does know when it's finished charging. So I think that's a small thing, but I really wish it was part of the features of the car. Okay, another thing that I don't really like in the car, and that might be a little thing or a big thing, I'm not sure, but basically at times the car will tell you that it has to deactivate some features because one of the cameras is blinded. So of course you need to be sure that your cameras are clean and there's no condensation on them or anything like that. But even so, what happens the most frequently is that there's sun that shines into the camera lens and the camera is blinded. So I think here it's mostly Tesla being careful, because of course if it needed that camera to detect something, that would be problematic. But if it's, for example, turning to the right and it's the left camera that's blinded, normally that could be ignored in most cases. But I guess here they're just playing it safe, saying, okay, we deactivate all features when the camera is blinded. But yeah, and so that's sort of the limitations also of a vision-based system. Now, actually, a human can be blinded too, and we don't have as many eyes as Tesla has cameras. So in a way, humans are vulnerable to this too, although we can compensate in different ways. For example, by moving the head. So yeah, that's another little thing. It's not clear how they can go about that, but I'm pretty sure they're working on it. And so yeah, that's a little thing I wish wasn't a problem. Okay, and the last minor thing that I wish the car would not have is, of course, bugs. These have ranged from minor to pretty major, and I was expecting them. You know, I'm a software engineer, and so I know that things can be buggy. But you know, as my previous car didn't have major bugs or even minor ones that much, you just wish that you would not have that experience. But let's be reasonable. It is a really high-end and pretty bleeding edge car, so you know, it's not something I hold too much into being problematic, but it can be annoying sometimes. So I wish at least that whatever bugs I have, they'll be corrected quickly, and so far Tesla has been pretty good at fixing those, although some of them I had to wait quite longer than I would expect. For example, the Spotify took a long time to work, let's say decently. Now it's pretty much better, but it could still work more seamlessly. But it could still work a lot better. All right. Okay, so that's it for my list of 10 little things that I don't like with the car. As you can see, there was nothing major, but there are some things that could be things that might disturb some of the people using the car or passengers. So like the door handles. So, you know, again, don't get me wrong, this is still a fantastic car. Still highly recommended. And by the way, if you're interested in buying one of them, I highly recommend you use a referral code. I'll put mine in the description below. And that way you'll get free supercharger electricity, 1,500 kilometers of that. And of course, if you have any questions or any suggestions, other things you don't like or like with the car, please use the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of this. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to put a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when I release my next one. All right, that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.